Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. I am so happy you're here. So in this video, we have another Scentsy training. This one is a recruiting follow-up training team Zoom call. Now, I will say that this specific team has removed all of their training videos from the YouTube channel, but I've already downloaded them all, so sorry not sorry. Now, if you're not familiar with Scentsy, they are an MLM network marketing company that sells wickless candles, which means they have warmers, wax warmers with light bulbs in them, and they melt the wax, make your house smell good. They have a ton of other products now too, but they started with the wax warmers and the wax melts. So that is the type of company that we are talking about. I have been doing a lot of videos uncovering Scentsy, mainly because I was in Scentsy for about 3.5 years or so, and I'm finally feeling comfortable talking about this specific MLM and exposing what really goes on behind the scenes. Oftentimes you'll see Scentsy consultants talking about how they're different and they're like they're often considered the safe MLM, and that's not true. There's no MLM that's safe. And I'm just trying to raise awareness around the situation. So before we actually dive in, I do want to say this is not geared toward any individual. This is specifically about the tactics that they are using and the MLM itself. Please do not seek these people out or send them any kind of messages. That is not what my intent with this video. The first 10 minutes of this video, it's just them getting on the call, and it's just going to be a big waste of time if we react to that piece. So we're just gonna jump right into the meat of the call, which starts at about 10 minutes. So with that said, let's get into it.
I got 3 new members, but they were all under $50, but continuing to reach out. Here's what I say about that. Again, these incentives are to get us thinking about and get us practicing certain habits that we need to already have in our business, right? And so, yes, while earning incentives is great and all of those things, right? It's really the cherry on top of the base of what it's building in your business. And so I love that Lauren pointed that out, because it 100% is just that. They're having us focus on this during the season so that we have that skill built into our platform as we're continuing to share and grow our business. So these are sales that are going to continue as long as they don't cancel, obviously, because they can cancel at any time. But these are sales that are going to continue to repeat in for you over and over and over again. And I think you've probably heard many of us say over the last however long you've been listening to Shift, that we all kind of have little goals personally of, get to $500 a month in club, get to 1,000 in club, and then that's repeat sales every single month. So keep that in mind, even once this season closes out, kind of keep doing those things and putting that information in. I did just redo my, and I ordered them, so I had to actually print them with 3 to a page. So I'll drop this, but this is the Scentsy Club information that I stick in all of my brand new customer thank yous. On the back, on one side, it has my thank you information, and then on the other side, it has the Scentsy Club stuff and kind of how I lay that out. So I'll drop that Canva template in the chat so you guys can kind of just see what that looks like, and have that resource, and you can go ahead and change it out with your information, because it does have to be changed out as well. So that's what we're talking about tonight. Miss Jen, do you want to go ahead and?
Yeah, I'll start from here. So guess what I'm going to talk about? I'll give you guys 3 guesses. So I'm going to start by saying, now that the $25 special is over, I have a love-hate relationship with the $25 special, because that's the one that, like, you feel so good because you can actually get people to spend $25 to get a kit because they're going to get that free nightlight. But then I feel sometimes like it's so hard to motivate them sometimes, because I feel like people underestimate the power, the opportunity with this business, because it only costs $99, $49, or $25. They completely underestimate the potential that they have. And so the $25 deal, well,
okay, so when she's talking about the $25 special or the $49.99, they're talking about the different levels of kit. Typically 1 month out of the year, 1 or 2 months out of the year, they have a special where you can join Scentsy for $25 and you just get a smaller kit. And I just did a reaction video to a training about the $25 kit, and the specific individual was talking about the different levels of kits and how she prefers her team to purchase the $99 kit, because if they spend more money, they're going to work harder and make the person at the top more money. But anyway, that's what she's referring to, the different tiers of the join kits. The only ones that are available year round right now, as far as I know, is the $99 kit and the $49 kit. I think that's like the host bonus kit or something like that. I'm not 100% sure on that.
There are some people that are going to definitely make it on that, but the $99 thing will always be my favorite, because those people are really invested. They have spent a good amount of money to get a lot of product. They have so much to build an amazing business. I am almost 14 years into Scentsy. In August, it will be my 14th anniversary. I have never seen Scentsy do a joint special like we have right now. I know we touched on this last week as well, but I really want you guys to think about this. We've never done this. I hope that you are telling people that. That is the first thing I'm saying to everybody. This is so exciting for me because I have something new to say to people. Like I can legitimately say, this is our best joint special we have ever had. So how many of you have truthfully spoken to at least 100 people in July about joining Scentsy? Raise your hands. Okay.
Nobody raises hand.
Guys, this is the month. You need to talk to everybody. You have the opportunity to change your business, to change your life, to change, like, seriously, I know it sounds so silly, but this is the month. If you can take a day off of work, if there's ever been a day to take a day off of your day job and spend it on your Scentsy business, this is the month to do it, because this is the month that you need to share this opportunity. Take a day off of everything else that you're usually doing. Stop doing all the cute, prepping your mail to mail out for next month. Like, stop everything for a day. Give yourself a full entire work day if you can, or whatever it is that you can, and get the word out to people. So I personally today, I'm going to share with you guys exactly what I texted at least 100 people today. Through the month, I bet you I'm on about 500 people. Now, I have talked to about 500 people this month, and I have only had 5 people join. And I know that sounds like, oh my gosh, 5 people, that's a lot. But look,
She has pestered 500 people to join her team, and 100 just in one day. What in the ma'am?
look at how many people I talked to. I got a lot of no's. I always get a lot of no's. And that's okay, because we know that no means I don't know enough, or right now is not the best time. No does not mean no forever. It means that now
No. No means no. No is a complete sentence.
isn't a good time, or I don't know enough about what you're talking about. So why did I get to reach out to 500 people this month? At a minimum, it's because I'm organized. That is the one thing in my life where I will never be disorganized, is people that I have talked to that have given me any amount of interest in Scentsy. I am going to always make sure I have a list of those people. This is the most important list that you will ever have. And
That's false. The most important list that I will ever have is like my emergency contacts for when I'm in the hospital or something. This is not the most important list that you will ever have. I'd also like to point out the fact that she's saying like this is a no for right now. They don't have enough information, or it's just a no for right now. Like, no means no. And when somebody says no, like, she's making it sound like joining Scentsy is the only option in life. Like, I have to come back to you. I'll circle back. I know you said no, but I'll circle back next month because I'm eventually going to get you to join my team. And that's exactly what happens in these MLMs. It happened to me. It happened to me. I eventually was just like, okay, I'll do it. And then it started domino effect, and I joined multiple MLMs, but that's beside the point. That's a different video.
I just ran into the other room and grabbed a few of my wonderful ways that I organize this. You guys, I have so many different systems because I'm one of those people that I see Melissa do a system like, oh my gosh, I need to do what Melissa does. And then Jody, and then Heather, and then everybody. Like, I always want to do everybody's list. How many of you are like that too? Like, we all always want to do, because, oh, she's successful, so I want to do what she's doing. Oh, I want to do what she's doing. So what do? I just try them all, and then I have my pile of books. So I will say that I can tell you what my favorite is. Right now, what I'm doing is not even one of these notebooks. It's on my iPad. So I have a list going on my iPad. I have a list going in the notes in my phone. And then here's what someday I'm going to invent. I'm going to invent an address book. I want it alphabetical, and I want it to have like just their name, how I met them, contact information, and then a whole section for notes. So that's my like dream way. But so I have literally, like, I've taken little notebooks and I've put the little tabs A through Z so that I know that's exactly what this one is. I made these one year. And so silly. I actually created and called it my dream team list. And it's just every page gives me not nearly enough room. So this is not enough space, because those people that I've talked to for 10 years, I'm still keeping in touch with them. Big notebooks, same exact thing. I'll do it by alphabetical. However you decide to do it, anytime you have a conversation with someone, you need to put them down, because when something happens like this month, or even the $25 join special, it gives you a list to go back and contact. I was looking today, and I think I found one. I was looking on my phone for an address book. So not the contacts list, but like an address book through the App Store. And I think I found something, but I didn't have enough time to play around with it. So that would be a really great way to do it, because then it's on your phone and you're not carrying around 50 notebooks. But every time like I said, I have it, especially when there's a join special, I pull out all these notebooks, and this is the message that I sent today. Hi there. I never want to be a pain. I just wanted to check in with you and see if Scentsy is still something that you could see yourself doing. If not, no problem. I will remove you from my list. So I didn't put any pressure on them. I didn't say anything about what was going on. I just said, just wanted to check in and see if Scentsy is something that you could see yourself doing. And I got lots of, I can, but I can't afford it right now. And then I send them. So I have, you guys use predictive text, I hope on your phone. My 3 that I use the most are my SSS, which is Scentsy is a fragrance. Like if people don't know what Scentsy is, I explain what it is. That's what SSS is. HHH is, here is a video that introduces myself and some of our products. If you guys can get in front of a camera, I am no expert. It is not cute. You cannot hardly see me because my lighting is way bad. Like everything is wrong. I don't have a thumbnail. I have nothing like that, but I have a little 2-minute video that just says, hey, I'm Jen, I'm from Maine and I lead a global team and blah, 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 blah. And I show them a couple of products. It's quick, it's easy. And I send that to everybody. The third one that I use is JJJ. I don't even know why it's JJJ, but I actually say this month, we're having a join special. It's the best special I've seen in my 14 years with Scentsy. It's basically, you're going to get the $99 kit for half price, $49, plus you're going to get extra catalogs and testers. So, and again, I try to keep that short.
So while one of the top, essentially everybody that's talking on this call is a superstar director, which is the top of the top. That's as far as you can get in Scentsy. This top leader is promoting copy paste messages. Nothing special. Maybe you change out the name, but nothing is personalized to anybody. And that's probably because she's reaching out to 100 people a day to join her team. People know when you're doing that. They know. Like if you're not having a genuine conversation with somebody, they know that you have predictive text or copy paste scripts that you're using. Why are we still promoting this?
Because I know that I am one of those people that if you send me a paragraph this long, I'm going to read the first few words. I'm going to maybe pick up a word in the middle, and then I might read the last sentence, but there's no way that this brain is going to read that entire thing. So keep that in mind. Those of you who are wordy, you hurt people like me because I can't possibly sit down and read all of that unless it's something that I really want to know about. Then I will just put myself in a quiet place and read it. But if it's somebody's kind of sending me a quick message, I'm never going to read it all. So try to keep it as quick and simple as you can. So another thing that I do during this time, because this is a great join special, I have a Google form, and I know I've shared this with you guys before, but I love having this. And basically I just say, when they tell me they don't have the money, I say to them, sometimes I have the opportunity to share some of my credits that I would get. And again, I know I've shared this with you guys, but I can share some of the credits that I get. And instead of buying free product for myself, if I really want to help somebody, or if I really feel like they could really use a little bit of an opportunity, a little bit of help, then I can share some of my credits with them. I never say you can get a free kit. Like I see that all over. People write that all the time. Oh, get a free kit with me. You don't really want to give away free kits, because I'll tell you right now, every free kit I've given away, they don't do anything. They just want the free kit. Maybe some of you have had a really great success with that, but I can promise you, if you're just giving out free kits left and right, they're not, unfortunately. I wish that they would, but sadly they give you, you guys know what I'm saying. But in my Google form, I do interview them. So when I send that to them, I say once in a while, like I have this available. So I send them the Google form and I ask them basically, what is your name and your Facebook name? Here's our first FAST awards. I explained the Shooting Star Award, and I say, do you think this is something that you could do? Then I say, I try to get all of my team members to become certified. I explain what it is within 30 to 60 days. Do you think this is something that you could do? I say, have you ever done anything like this before? Like I just ask them questions that I want to know. And then it's on my Google Forms. And those of you who know how Google Forms work, it's right there. So anytime I'm like, I haven't had a recruit this month, or maybe I have some extra credits, I always make them pay at least $20 for their kit, no matter what, because I'm not going to give it to them for free, because they need to have a little bit of skin in the game. So I send that to them. I haven't done it in July or August, for the record, because I would never do it when we have a really great special, because honestly, the $49 kit is the best thing that has ever happened in Scentsy. So you guys, please, please, please promise me each and every one of you will reach out. Like, it is hard. I know it is embarrassing. It is everything. I get it. Like, I totally know it is really hard to send those messages. Don't sound salesy. Don't sound spammy. Like the way I said it, I feel comfortable because that's my personality. The way I said it, to me, is a good way to say it. If that isn't the way you would talk, obviously don't say that, but don't, you know what I mean? Don't be like, oh my gosh, you'd be so dumb if you didn't join right now. You just be really careful about how you word it. Remember that it takes courage, not confidence. You don't need to be confident at all to share this opportunity with people. You just need a little bit of courage, and your courage will grow as you keep doing it. So those first 5 people you say something to, they're going to say, yeah, no, this isn't the right time, or I can't right now, I'm too busy, I'm blah, blah, blah. So instead of arguing with them, I just say, depending on who it is, and depending on how well I know them, I say, thank you so much for letting me know. You have a great day. That's all I say.
If you feel embarrassed to send a message or to reach out to somebody about something, and it's not like life or death, your gut is trying to tell you something. There's a red flag there that is being waved that you might be ignoring. I hate this tactic that all network marketers use, essentially, is it doesn't feel good, but push through and do it anyway and you'll get used to it. Like, no, if it doesn't feel good, there's a reason. Let's figure out why that's not feeling good.
Don't argue with them at all. And 20% of the time, they will respond with something else. It's almost like they feel bad that I was so nice to them for saying no, that they want to continue the conversation a little bit. So I've learned that that's from me not arguing, but me kind of going back and forth with them, trying to tell them how great they would be. I've learned that just backing off and saying, okay, I respect that, but they didn't tell me to never contact them again. So if I can leave it open like that, then I know that I can contact them again. Stories, that's another really big.
She doesn't want to close it out. She wants to potentially make them feel guilty, so they keep reaching out. And then she also wants to reach back out to them next month to pester them again about joining Scentsy.
When I've shared that with you guys before, a big thing I keep in my phone is if I'm talking to a nurse, I try to have a couple stories, quick stories of nurses that I know that were successful in Scentsy. And I can say, hey, by the way, I know, one of the most successful people in our company was a nurse and she retired after 5 years of nursing. Or you guys understand. So what are teachers or whatever it is? Mary Christensen, by the way, said in her books, she says that some of the most successful people in direct sales are teachers and cheerleaders. And that doesn't necessarily mean like an elementary school or a whatever teacher, but like it can be a coach, it can be a Sunday school teacher, it can be somebody who teaches people. It doesn't have to be a school teacher. And then cheerleaders doesn't have to be a real cheerleader. It can just be someone who's positive and is always cheering others on. So just keep that in mind. So you guys have 10 days. Oh, another fact that I wanted to share with you. Last thing here. Another fact is, let's say that you sponsor 30 people in a year. Okay. This is a pretty good, and Scott Watson, he's one of my superstar directors. And he's brilliant. He reminds me so much of Orville. They both have their brains just work with numbers and they're really good and their statistics are usually right on. If you sponsor 30 people in a year, how many of us sponsor 30 people in a year? Not a lot of people sponsor 30 people in a year, but if you did, 10 of those people are going to do nothing, absolutely nothing. 10 of those people are going to enter their $200 every 3 months or so, possibly, because maybe they have somebody under them and they don't want to lose that person. So they'll go in and they'll put in 200 PRV. And then 10 of those people are going to maybe put in an order every month, maybe be active every month, right? Not 10, maybe 9, let's say 9 of those people. And 1 of those people is probably going to really build a business and be your rock star. So how many years is it going to take you to sponsor 30 people? That's the big question. And if you're not even close to sponsoring 30 people, and I know I'm totally overwhelming. If you're new, I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to overwhelm you. I know 30 is a really huge number, but it's all about momentum. It is, once you get into the habit of this, if you want to build a business, if you want to have something to pass down to your family,
something to be passed down in your family. A network marketing company should not be something that you are passing down to your family. What about like starting a legitimate business? For example, I have a video editing YouTube strategy business that I run on my own. It's my own gig. It's my thing. But I include my oldest son. He is 12 years old and I have him help me edit videos. This is teaching him like the what you can do and what you can help me with. And eventually, if my business gets to that point, he can start taking over bigger things and take over the entire thing. If it ever came to that. That's just an example of an actual business opportunity that you can hand down to your children. An MLM, that ain't it.
You want to retire from your jobs, not be stuck in a cubicle, not have to, you guys get it. If you want to do with what so many of us have been so fortunate because we worked our butts off and now we're living a very different life than we used to. If you want that to be you, then you got to talk to people about Scentsy. You have got to sponsor people. And again, you have 10 days left in this month. And you should all have at least 2 people by the end of this month. You have 10 days. Send out 100 messages. Talk to everybody that you know. Honestly, you guys do not worry about selling anything for the next 10 days. Don't worry, but focus on building your team. And when you do that and talk to your team members and share what's working for you, share what isn't working for you, the more.
I know, I keep pausing. I'm so sorry. I have so much to say and I don't want to forget. It's interesting to me that every training I have watched with Scentsy always comes back to recruiting. But they tell you that you don't have to recruit to make money. So they have essential consultant and they have certified consultant. Those are the only two options that you have in your network marketing, multi-level marketing position with Scentsy before you have to start recruiting to work up in the ranks and give yourself a raise. So it's so heavily focused on recruiting and they try and disguise it so much, but they let it all flow in these trainings. And this is a great example of that.
You share, the more people will copy you. And copying is the biggest form of flattery, right? I mean, I copy the people that I love the most. So go out there and share exactly what your messages are to people. Share exactly what you're popping in the mail. Share all of it. But you have to share with your team, but you also have to share with people and let them really see what the opportunity is. We were talking a little bit about the trip. I will say that some of my most incredible rock stars in my group came after I went on a trip. And it doesn't have to be the Alaskan cruise. It could be Scentsy family reunion. It could be getting together with 3 team members and making samples and having the time of your life and posting some pictures on Facebook and saying, I can't believe without Scentsy, the 3 of us would not have known each other. Any kind of event, any kind of get together, it just makes people, there are so many lonely people out there that were never part of a sports team, never part of a music, anything. They were just never part of a team. And they wish that they could have that camaraderie. They wish that they could be part of something that we have, because we all know that Scentsy is very special, but we have to share with them why it's so special.
So this is something that MLMs will use as a tactic, is targeting the people who feel left out or don't have that community to be in. For example, a group of people that are targeted all of the time, army wives or husbands or significant others, because they are constantly relocating and having to get to know new people and not having those same like consistent relationships all of the time. They will target these people and tell them that they can join Scentsy for the community and everything else is a perk. And the problem with that they don't disclose when somebody joins an MLM like Scentsy is that if you decide to leave at some point, your community will also leave you. Like, they're not sticking around for the long haul. And I can tell you that from experience. Nobody is hanging out with you. Nobody is checking in with you. Nobody is messaging you. Nobody has any concern about you any longer in most cases, because now you're not making them money. So what does it matter?
And bless them with this opportunity. So again, no means I don't know enough, and right now might not be the right time. It doesn't mean no forever. Share. You have 10 days left. This is the best opportunity that they have ever given us. And I have nothing else to say. So does anybody have any questions, or anybody have anything they want to add to that?
I love how you say I have nothing left to say. Okay, so I do have a question over from Facebook. Okay. So when you follow up with them, so if you were to send them that message and they said no, when was kind of the next time? What's kind of like your process for follow up?
So unfortunately, I don't have a process, but I just go with it. Like, I'll grab the green notebook one day, and I've got an extra 30 minutes, so I grab the green notebook, which might be from 2018. I don't know. Like, I have all different years, so I am not organized at all when it comes to this kind of stuff. I'll grab my phone, I'll grab my iPad. Like, I just go to a list, and that is one thing I'm very disciplined. Every week I go to lists. I never go a month without going through my lists. Like, that is the number one priority in my business, is to find people to help. And again, I lead, I help. I don't do it for them. I have people who join, and they're like, I just had a person ask me this week, I'm sure. Yeah, asked me when they were going to get paid from last month. And I said, well, you have to sell something before you get paid. And so there are people who are confused and think that this is a job. And I guess so now I've kind of added that into when I talk to people, I'm like, just so you know, you have to actually sell stuff to get a paycheck, because I didn't realize that somebody would think that they would get paid if they didn't sell anything. So I'm not organized. It's a really bad answer, but I'm always checking in with people. Always. And if they're on my hot list, like the people that really want to do it, they're in my phone in my notes.
I respectfully disagree. Jen has a lot of systems.
Too many.
You have books, and you have lists, and you have check marks, and you have highlighters, and you have everything. And I'm like, I could never do what Jen does. I wish I could go pick out a green notebook and just start calling people from it. So I think you do have a system. Maybe you just don't label it as that. It works for you. And I've seen you do it in your camper on the side of I-95. I've seen you just pull out a green one. I've seen your systems, and I think they're pretty damn genius.
Thank you.
They work for you. They work for you. So sorry, Kelly, go ahead. But I wanted to make sure she knew she had something.
No, I think that's great because what I was kind of just going to say was I feel like a lot of times you overthink it. You just have to find out what's right. If it's literally that you're just brain dumping in a notebook, then you're literally just brain dumping in the workbook and you don't have to overthink it, right? That's what we have to get back to. You see a lot of the things that people do and the conversations they have and all of that. Just do something, right? If you
Just
do
have something. Yes, exactly. Have a notebook, have something. And then if it doesn't work for you, don't get rid of that notebook. Put it in that pile of the rest of the notebooks of people that you know that you can contact.
I've even heard of a system where you have a whiteboard and it's in 3 columns, and this one particular consultant writes the person's name on a Post-it note and puts them, whatever information they want to puts them in the column, follow up with, and just moves them in these columns and works the Post-it note system. So it doesn't need to be anything that is, whatever works for you. In fact, my team just had a training on Tuesday night about systems, and we heard from superstar director Mallory Thompson, who is really, really adamant about using systems. And she even said on the call, it doesn't make a difference what your system is so long as you're consistent using it, because it really makes no difference. The only way for you to get things done effectively and timely is having a system to do so. And there is nothing worse than doing something one month and then not having a system for it. In the following month, they're like, okay, what did I do last month so that I can try to be consistent? It's like when you're making thank you packs or sample packs, you always leave one extra as your demo for yourself. So when it comes time to make new packets, you know what you put in the last time. That's a system, and it's just a simple one, but it's still a system that helps you be consistent. But again, Post-it notes, notebooks, address books, a day planner, it doesn't matter what it is. It makes no difference. It's whatever works for you.
Well, and this one kind of goes, and it's not really a system. It's just one of the ways I keep track of people on my phone, especially when we used to have a lot of home parties and or events. So I haven't had to do a lot of this in a few years because we haven't done those. But you can see that these phone contacts, if it will say potential recruit, who they are and where I met them. And then when I open up their contact, it's notes about them. So these are all listed as potential as their first name. And Melissa, I know you had the same system, just you would put like their set and their name or whatever, but this is the same type of thing. Figure out what works for you. And if you
This reminds me of like when guys talk about how they go to like the bar, they have multiple contacts in their phone for a specific name. So they'll put like Big Booty Becky or Bougie Becky. That's just like what this potential recruit system in her phone thing reminds me of. And it's freaking hilarious.
talk to somebody, put them in your phone as potential. I just use potential. That's not for hosts. It's for teams, potential recruit basically. And then their name and whatever else information you want. Again, it has to work for you. I don't have any seriously fancy systems or anything like that. I probably should get a little bit better about it, but at the end of the day, all of us want to accomplish the same task, and how we go about it is what works for your brain. Like Jen's highlighter system, I absolutely love it, but I would be like fumbling over all of my highlighters and stuff. So it doesn't work for me, but I love it for her. And I love the idea, and I can take the concept of that idea and make it your own. And that's what we always try to tell you guys. Yes, we're going to give you tons of ideas and different things to try, but it's up to you to make it work for you. Because if you just listen and then you're like, oh, this doesn't work for me, then you're sitting idle, not doing anything. Tweak it and find what works for you. I also wanted to say something. Somebody mentioned something earlier about having word vomit when they go to talk to people. That's nerves most of the time. And you give yourself a little bit of grace, but the more you do it, the more you'll practice at it. Practice more active listening, like, put something out there. Remember, facts tell and stories. Well, how they go, facts tell and stories sell, basically. I mean, in a sense, I'm going to relate to the person who I shared a story with that somehow we connected on versus someone telling me about their compensation plan or the ingredients of a bar. That doesn't do anything for most people. So keep that in mind.
And that, I feel like, proves why so many of these people will openly admit that they don't understand the compensation plan. We've seen it in other videos that I've reacted to in terms of Scentsy. They don't understand the compensation plan, and they also don't understand the compliance rules. They don't know all of the compliance rules because, like she says, they're taught that facts tell and stories sell, which in a sense is true, but you can't just rely on stories. You have to have the facts. You have to give these people the facts in order for them to fully understand what they're getting into. The other individual just said that she had somebody join her team and they thought that they were going to be getting paid regardless if they made sales or not. And I think that's something that should be explained to an individual who is joining an MLM company like this. So I also think that they don't share that information, or they don't care to learn that information because they're turning a blind eye. This is my opinion, but I think they're turning a blind eye to the actual facts of it being structured so much like a pyramid scheme, again, in my opinion.
You guys are not this is a party plan business. And in the word party means fun. Keep it lighthearted, keep it fun. But keep it serious because it is your business and you want people to take you as a serious business owner, but you have to find that balance. You can't just be strictly all about the business and the facts and telling. Share some stories, have a conversation where you're talking and listening and they're doing the same. And that way you don't have to have all the information because you're letting them kind of lead and ask the questions. And if you do not know the answer to something, it is 1000% okay to say, I don't know, but I'm happy to get back to you. Because if you're wrong, you're gonna lose a little bit more credit versus, gosh, you know what? That's a great question. Let me find out for sure. Because now they're like, oh, she really does care. It just sends a different message. So I just wanted to kind of touch on that because I saw that pop up through the chat a little earlier. So again, sorry to interrupt. My brain bubbles popped, Kelly.
No, that's really good, Jody. And I just want to throw out there too, really quick, is don't get so caught up on the system or getting organized in a system. I'd rather you have word vomit and say way too many words than you spending 4 months to try to get a system and a game plan with no action. All you have to do is open your mouth and you talk what you love, and that's Scentsy. It really is that simple, and don't overcomplicate it. Your system will come into place the more you do it. You're going to figure out what works along the way. But I've seen way too many people do way too many planning, and it never turns out. It's like people going to college to get a degree, and 9 times out of 10, they don't even using the same degree they went to college for, right? It's the same scenario in a sense. You can plan all day long till you're blue in the face. You're better off picking up the phone and having a conversation with someone as if you're talking to them to see if they're interested in buying, hosting, or joining, whatever you're looking for in your business.
And you don't have to, just like what Heather said, pick up the phone and have a conversation with somebody. You don't have to have an elaborate system. Just write down that you had that conversation with them with the date and what you talked about, and boom, you have something to refer back to. That's the key. I mean, sometimes it's exactly what Heather said. We overthink symptoms. We're constantly looking for an app or a program or a website or a robot to do our things for us. And we spend so much time investing in trying to learn all these new things that we get caught up, we get overwhelmed and we're paralyzed and we do nothing. And so just from what Heather said, having a conversation and writing it down and putting a date on it and just do it all in the same place, boom. You have something to refer back to, because there's really one area that covers 3 things, 3 different aspects of your business, but there's one area that's most important to have systems for, or have a system for, and that's follow-up. Follow-up with customers, follow-up with hosts and past hosts, because we fall guilty to thinking that every customer and every host is going to come back to us to buy and come back to us to rebook their party. No, it's up to us to look at our calendar from last year and be like, okay, I have this person that likes to have their parties in September. I should be reaching out to make sure that I get that date scheduled for their September party. So your follow-up areas are customers, past hosts, and potential consultants. It's all follow-up. You can do it in a 3-subject notebook. It doesn't matter. But the bottom line is follow-up is where the most amount of your money is going to come from buying, from hosting, and getting people to join.
Amen. I love that. Oh, sorry.
This is super fast. So I just wanted to share one more thing because you guys talked about events. So for those of you, I keep seeing people saying they're also not organized. So when I do door price slips, here's what I do. I put them in a book. Instead of like feeling like I need to write it all down, I literally go home and I take washi tape or a stapler or whatever I happen to have, and I put it on here, and then I can open it up and I write notes on the back of it. So anybody who has said yes, no, or maybe, if they circle all no's, then they're not going into my book. But this is my book of, I have lots of these books too, but these are my books of door price slips. So honestly, if you have a stack of door price slips, instead of just having the pile that's falling over and falling behind your desk and going crazy like that, put it in a notebook, get it. It doesn't even have to be a little one. I just had this notebook because whatever, but put them in there and use them to follow up and write on the notebook paper in the back. Why are you guys laughing at me?
Genius.
Yeah,
Right, because it's just so
literally for everything, Jen Audette. Everything you bring out as a system, you're like, I don't have systems.
No, I don't know. You guys have all the cool systems. I'll tell you guys, in 2019, I tried to do this really cool, I forget what it was called, a journal. What was it called, Melissa? And I literally texted Melissa, a bullet journal. Every day. Okay, this year I'm going to do it all in bullet journals. And I kept texting Melissa every single day. I'm like, can you please send me pictures of your bullet journal? And she's like, Jen, you just put stuff. And I'm like, no, I can't. So yeah, these are my bullet journals.
You made it work for you.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I do have a couple follow-ups. First of all, I have to say, I wrote this down because I love this. Do you feel like this is something you can do within 30 to 60 days? I love that you asked them. You were specifically saying, if I am giving this to you, are you committing to doing this in 30 to 60 days? So I wanted to point that out. I felt like we couldn't move past that because that was like an exclamation point moment for me. Over on Facebook, Somebody had asked you if you would repeat, and actually I felt bad because I was typing, if you would repeat your verbiage of what you text.
So I wrote it today, what I texted
Yeah.
today. Okay, today I wrote, hi there. I never want to be a pain. Just wanted to check in and see if Scentsy is still something you can see yourself doing. If not, no problem. I'll remove you from my list. And I think of all of the people I sent it to, I think 5 people said, no, I'm not interested. But many said, when I have the money, I want to do it. And I haven't sent them that link to fill out the Google form yet, because I'm on July 29th is when they're going to get another round of messages from me. Hey, you have 2 more days, blah, 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 blah.
I've brought this up in the past, and I know many anti-MLM creators have also brought it up, that when people say, no, I don't have the money, or I don't have the money right now, they're typically trying to be polite. That is something that I had to learn not to say anymore, like just to blatantly say no, because even then they still come back. But I remember in the beginning when I was being asked to join specific MLMs or different MLMs, I would be like, I really can't afford it right now. It's not in the budget. But I really wanted to say, no, I don't want to do it. And that was just my way of being polite, because I don't want this person to hate me. Now I just say, here's the link to my YouTube channel. I'm not joining your MLM. But this is a common tactic used as well when somebody doesn't blatantly say no. So it's just interesting that these MLMers don't really get the message when somebody keeps saying the same thing, like it's not in the budget. Like, stop. Don't ask anymore.
And in September, if there's no join special, I'll first start off I'll look at their Facebook page and see how positive they are. And if there's somebody that I even want to invest in, isn't that terrible? I know that sounds terrible, but I don't have time for, you guys all know what I'm saying. So I'll go check out their Facebook page and decide whether or not I want to send them that Google sheet, form, whatever it's called.
Thank you. I voice recorded you, so I'll fix that and I will post it in the chats for everybody. The next question somebody had was, I struggle on asking for their information when I meet someone. I do give my contact information, but how do I end up with theirs? Any tips? So I'm gonna actually say this is so funny, and that you asked this is just gonna tie together. So my best friend Ashley recently, she decided she was gonna start talking. She went to SFR because it was local, and she ended up being my guest. And so she learned a lot of things there. So she decided she was gonna go out and she was gonna be a little more friendly. And this older gentleman came up to her in the grocery store and started having a conversation with her, and she normally would just whatever, but she's like, you know what, today I'm gonna be nice. And so she started having this conversation with him. Well, come to find out, this gentleman had, this guy was like, well, can I have your number so we can still be friends, right? So it turned into this really weird thing for her at the grocery store, and that's why she told me about it. But she was like, oh yeah, and she did admit, so if you met her, I'm throwing her under the bus, she did admit that she was going to give him a fake number. But what ended up actually happening was he ended up saying, here's my phone, go ahead and call yourself. So that is something that you could easily do, because if you say, here's my phone, go ahead and call yourself, I'll save you as da-da-da. So literally, she couldn't get away from giving this older gentleman her phone number because he simply asked. So that's a way that you could easily do that, is you could say, hey, if you want to go ahead and put your information in my phone, I can make sure that when you text me or reach out, I have your contact information.
That's a great.
So she just openly said, if they say no, this is a way to get them to not say no so that you can keep annoying them. Why are these individuals promoting this behavior? Why is this still a thing?
Great way to do it. And I really love that Ashley went out with power of positivity today to be nice to people. Personal growth is so important, y'all.
That's some of magical things.
I'm trying to smile more so I don't look like a permanent RBF. How am I doing?
You're doing great. All right, I have one more little piece of advice. So for those of you who don't have enough contacts, those of you who are sitting here thinking, I don't have any people to send this to, I don't have any, where am I going to find people? So I actually got this advice from Rachel Pence. And find a Scentsy product and do a sponsored ad. $5. Put $5, put it on your business page, get a warmer that has a butterfly, and target people who like butterflies. Do a Disney product, target people who like that Disney product. It's a way to get contacts. And then you have new people to add to your list. So what Rachel does is anytime a certain product is dropped, instead of buying it, now she takes the money that she would have invested in the product and puts it toward a sponsored ad. And I know that I know some of you do this part-time, and I understand that this is a little business, but you can afford $5 a month, maybe $10 a month to come up with some new contacts, because these are people who like butterflies.
I don't think that's allowed. So yeah, according to Facebook, it says ads promoting income opportunities must fully describe the associated product or business model and must not promote Business models offering quick compensation for little investment, including multi-level marketing opportunities. So it's saying that you cannot promote multi-level marketing opportunities in a sponsored ad on Facebook. And that goes back to the higher level consultants not knowing the rules in compliance or the rules of Facebook. Like, you have to know all of these things. Like I said, I have a small virtual business that I run, and I have to know all of these things as well. And I'm not going to just turn a blind eye to it and see what happens, because that can get you in a lot of trouble. And she is promoting this to a huge Scentsy team.
For people who like, I can't even think of a single Disney product, Mickey Mouse or any of it. Like these are people who like that. Like, just target, there's enough people on Facebook that like everything, every single person on this call, we could all target the exact same demographic and we would have plenty of people. So do something. And if you do something every month, I feel like Facebook likes you because you're consistent, and it will definitely help you get new contacts. That's a big thing. Yes, on Facebook or Instagram. Honestly, I should do Instagram. Instagram is definitely where it's at. I'm a dinosaur. I have a good gif for that.
People are buying in droves from the Instagram feed and the Facebook feed. Like, I mean, think of how many times a sweatshirt comes up with a great saying on it in your Instagram feed, and you click on it to go see how much it costs, or you click on it and it takes you to, the company webpage. We all do it. Or a lot of us do it. And that's a really common way how people are shopping now is, and they don't even know, they have no, loyalty to that brand yet. They've never heard of the company. It's just, we've come to trust what comes up in our feeds. And just the other day, I was walking across a crosswalk next to a woman who had this wrap for her daughter, and it had a seat so that she could carry her daughter on the side, but it has a seat. And I complimented it. I was like, that's genius. I wish I would have had that. And she was like, Facebook ad, it got me. And I'm like, that's like how people are shopping now. So $5, $10. And I mean, that's how Rachel sold 59 Disney castles. It's just,
and to piggyback on that, I haven't done the sponsored ad on Instagram, but I can't tell you the last time I shop on there almost every single freaking day.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, if I don't buy something, I've at least clicked on the ad and done the research and can go back to it. Like, I spend a little too much money on social media products. It's pretty bad. But I was also going to say, I've done this instead, was I create, like a Jot form or a Google form or whatever you want as far as information that you want collected. And I post it in the marketplace, and I posted it different marketplaces in different states and different regions to get contacts. And I haven't done it in a really long time. I think since COVID started, I need to do it again. Because I think out of the 50 people who filled out my one form, I got like 15 orders. I'll take that all day long. Either way, I got more contacts, whether they want to buy right away or not. There's still new contacts. And if you are not, I'm just going to plug this in. If you're not putting all of your customer information into your contacts tab, stop, do it. You have to do it. If you want to run a legitimate business and you want to be here, you want to know in a year who bought what, you have to put in accurate and complete customer data information. It's so important. So those are my tips. How do you put a Jot form on Marketplace? I'd have to go in and look step by steps, but I just went in there and posted a picture of a product and said whatever. I can't remember exactly what I said, but I put the link in there so that they could, I could find out if their information, and they can also go to my shop. I'm not selling product on Marketplace. We're not selling market. We're not doing that. We're doing ads and gathering information. It's very important that we make that clear. If you are selling on any social platform, you're going to get, so don't know the rules.
The same goes for running a multi-level marketing ad on Facebook or Instagram. Obviously, Facebook and Instagram are the same company. So if Facebook has this on their website saying that you cannot run ads for a multi-level marketing company, the same goes for Instagram. Within Scentsy compliance, surprisingly, she knows this, as a consultant, you cannot list products for sale on Marketplace or Mercari or Poshmark or anything like that. But apparently they don't put in their compliance, or they don't know that it's in their compliance, that you can't advertise on Facebook or Instagram. Like, that is also against the rules. It might not be against the rules for Scentsy, but as far as Facebook and Instagram go, that is against the rules. And if you ever see a multi-level marketing company advertised on Facebook or Instagram, make sure you report that ad, because they will go ahead and take it down, because that is not allowed again.
Yep.
And I was going to add, so on my Google form that I send out to people, you know, if sometimes I have, you know, that Google form I was talking about, I always ask for their phone number, their email, and their Facebook, like the link to their Facebook page, because if they're not going to give me any of those, then they don't think I'm real. So I'm not going to give them the time of day. So I will actually text them and say, hey, thank you so much for filling out the form. I will let you know as soon as I have, you know, if I have an opportunity to come up for you. And then I'll wait and see if they respond to me. And then I go in, I'll just delete them. If I don't ever hear from them or I don't feel comfortable, they just get the delete.
I think we answered all the questions. You got any over from Facebook, Cal?
So I think mostly it's just now there's, you know, questions about, oh, well, how do I business page and sponsored ads? And, you know, so it open kind of a different, another can.
No,
another
those things
topic
have to
that
go,
maybe-
like, use Google.
Yeah. So
I
I
will-
would just look those things up, Google it. Look, I mean, you have
YouTube
a
it,
business page.
I tell even my team, my frontline, my everybody, I'm like, if I sat and tried to go through this with you, it would take me 14 hours and you would be so confused. You would have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Go on YouTube and search how to create a job form, how to create a Google form, how to do a sponsored ad on Facebook. How, like literally how to repair your engine in your car. Like we could all repair our engines in our cars because of YouTube. Anytime something goes wrong in our house, my husband will YouTube, like literally you can do anything in the whole world on YouTube. So Google it or YouTube it or whatever you're supposed to do.
And also, we did talk about Project Broadcast earlier in the call. I dropped the link for the Project Broadcast Facebook group page for Scentsy. Start there, you guys, because Project Broadcast has their training down pat and it goes through a system. So I'm not just trying to pass it off because we don't want to answer you, but we don't work for Project Broadcast. The best way to get their information is from them. But we will be doing a training based on what we do know sometime later in August. So stay tuned for that. But if you can get your toes in the water now with Project Broadcast, when we do our training in August, it will be easier to comprehend and follow along and implement. And it really is, it's one of my most favorite programs I've ever used, honestly. Is that it? I don't think TNS is the place to be every week. We love you, Jackie Duran. Thanks for being here, you guys. Look at that face. We wouldn't have Thursday Night Shift if y'all didn't show up. I mean, we just talking to ourselves. Go
We
ahead.
do that sometimes.
Did we want to do kind of a commercial for what's upcoming for Shift?
We maybe without dates, but topic matter we could, because you know sometimes we change the dates, nothing set in stone. Disclaimer.
I just didn't know since we've got some things in the hopper, if we wanted to just kind of give a commercial. We're going to talk. So this is like in the upcoming next 4 or 5 weeks. We're going to talk onboarding and reinstatements and having a process for reinstatements. We're going to talk about the incentive qualifications that'll be coming out soon. So we're going to talk about the how to earn. We've got new catalog Jeopardy coming up. That's on the horizon because we have a new catalog that's starting soon. And so we all need to start studying so that we know our catalog, start studying what page the bundle and saves are on. And we're going to talk about Project Broadcast, and that's important with the news of Amy and the news of, you know, trying to figure out how we're going to communicate with customers and team members and things like that. So we wanted to give you the heads up though on Project Broadcast, on the Jeopardy, so that you can prepare yourself for those things coming up. Maybe do a little bit of Google Project Broadcast and just get an idea. There are some training videos out there that explain what it is, because when we go through Project Broadcast, we're going to go through it. It's not going to be a stop and answer every single question. Kelly has a rock awesome training that she's going to do on Project Broadcast, and it'll be help. It's anything you do, Kelly. But it'll help if you know a little bit about what we're talking about. And so, so there, that gives you kind of a heads up on what's coming up. We're excited. And yeah.
So
Really
real quick, I
important.
just got a message from somebody and they said, what would you say to someone if you haven't talked to them in many, many years? And they had said that they were interested in joining. So I would say, hi there. I hope you don't think I'm crazy, but I remember back in, if you know the date, 2017, you had a little bit of interest in Scentsy. This month happens to be our best month ever to give Scentsy a try. So if you have any interest, I didn't want to leave you out of the opportunity to do this. Something like that is what I would say. So I would definitely reach out, even if it's been 5 years. And I would say, that would just make it fun. Like, I hope you don't think I'm crazy. I remembered you from whenever, something like that. But I would definitely reach out.
And
I know we haven't talked in 5 years, and I don't give a shit about you or your family, but do you want to join my Scentsy team? We have a special going on.
you remember about that person that's personal, add it. It makes such a difference. I can tell when someone joins a new company and they're spamming me, when they're, you know, they're just sending that to everyone. And I let them know, yo, you are not going to go far. You keep doing this crap. You better be saying, hello, how are you? How are your kids? You know what I mean? Something personal. Jen, I love that. I love that you're like, hey, I remember back when, because instantly that says, I remember our conversation, it meant something to me and I thought of you, versus a mass text that you're saying to everyone because you want a sale.
We still see through that. Like, we know the agenda, even if it's been 5 years and I know you're in an MLM company and you're like, hey, how are your kids? Like, I know what your agenda is, and you need to go kick rocks because you don't really care about me or my family. You just want my money.
Or recruiting.
And I
Very
know,
different.
I'm sure you guys all know this, but when you do have these door price slips and you have a conversation with anybody ever, on the back, just jot down, has a 4-year-old daughter. And then in 2017, you could say, oh my gosh, your daughter must be like 10 by now or something, just something like that, because it actually will make my memory remember it. If I write daughter, 4 years old, purple dress, carrying a Mickey Mouse, like I'll actually sometimes remember. I'm like, oh my gosh, she was so cute. And then
I write on mine, spilled wine all over my booth, threw up, stole a bar. Sometimes you have those fairs too. You're like, oh,
right.
I'm also going to say that's another thing, like, you know, you hear a lot about going to these digital platforms, right? Having digital ways to enter and things like that. But those are those things that make still, like Jen said, she actually put a dinosaur GIF in our chat earlier, right? Like some of those dinosaur ways of like just writing it down is because I know there's plenty of us that can say you were at an event and you were hurrying back to find out which person it was that just dropped that in because you knew exactly what note you were going to write on the back, right? So you remember who they were. Those are the things that keep it personal, that keep you building, and that make it more than just wax and warmers.
Absolutely. All right, I think we're ready to wrap up a few minutes early. Anybody else have anything they want to add? Thank you guys. I appreciate all of you. We all appreciate you guys being here. Jen?
I want to add that those of you who are going to H-Town Showdown, is that what it's called? H-Town Showdown?
H-Town Showdown.
I am so jealous. Like, I have wanted to go to that every year since forever and ever ago. And next year I will not have, hopefully, a kid going to a new college or anything like that. So I am really hoping that I get to go to it. And those of you who are going, I'm so jealous of you and thankful that you get to go. And I can't wait to learn from all of you. So have the best time. That's not even next week, is it?
Do we need to do like one like up in the Northeast? Like, do we need to make
We
that?
could.
Let's
Yeah.
do
I mean, this is my
let's
first
do a Boston Town Showdown. That would be
You
fun.
could.
Beantown Showdown.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Showdown.
I love Boston. It's one of my
We are
favorite
totally
cities.
just whipping this out of thin air. Do not think that this is the plan
Yeah.
or the
No,
tune.
this is not, I can't even get H-Town planned
We've
fully.
never
I mean,
discussed
I
this
literally
before.
have been working this whole time y'all were talking on H-Town stuff.
Heather.
We've been around the
I'll
clock.
be your vice president. You plan it and I'll be there to cheer you on.
Oh, yeah, I'm telling you what,
Bring
y'all
your
are in for a
notebooks.
treat. It's August 6th and we have over 200 people coming.
Yeah.
It's going to
I'm
be
so excited.
incredible. Yeah.
I'm so jealous, you guys. I cannot wait to hear everything that you learned, and jealous and excited for you.
It's gonna be good.
We'll miss you, Jen.
Fun.
Yeah, we are gonna miss you, but we'll see you next year. We'll put you down for a speaker next year.
On
Heather.
recruiting and
And the new
systems.
stuff, back to you, John.
Back to you, John. Listen, I'm going to bed early so I can wake up again at the crack of dawn to get this. Oh, if y'all, those that are coming and then those that are watching Thursday night shift, y'all are in for a very, very big treat. You're all going to get rewarded with something, and it's going to be really, really great.
Because Heather has not slept in, I think, days, because even if she is in bed, she doesn't stop thinking about
Mama
it.
Bev is actually driving from Arlington to come down and help me for 3 days, because if I'll post some pictures of my front room, but I literally have not been sleeping. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But it's going to be great. I'm going to be
It's gonna
so
be great.
rested by the time it's here. Yes.
All right, everyone. That is our Thursday night shift tonight. Thank you so much for being here. We love you all. Go make some shifts happen this week. Get your recruits on, get your hostesses, and get your club orders done. And let us know how that goes next week, everyone. Have a very great night. Thank you.
See you next Thursday.
Bye, everyone. Good night, girls.
That was another very telling team training from Scentsy. Thanks for hanging out with me while I talked a bunch of shit and peeled the covers back from what's really going on in Scentsy behind the scenes. I will see you in the next one.